Yo, what's good, y'all? It's Young KS, and today, man, we're doing a new series. It's called Let's Talk. Essentially, it's gonna be me talking about stuff in the producer or mainstream rap community, you know what I'm saying? Just issues and stuff like that. So let's just go and get into it, man. One more thing I wanted to add is that all of this is gonna be opinion. Like, I'll use some facts in it, but almost all of it's gonna be opinion. So today's topic is gonna be loops. What I want to talk about is how people either gravitate toward using loops and they're advocate for being able to use them just really at any time, and then people who are against them, you know, say that it's not creative, whatever excuse they may have. So starting out with the side that disagrees with using loops and thinks that it's uncreative or just lazy or anything like that, I got y'all. I'll talk to y'all about that. So advocating for this side for the sake of argument is that I can see where people get at, you know, it's lazy, it's, you know, uncreative or whatever. One of the best comparisons that I've seen so far, it was probably like maybe a year and a half ago, like late 2019, early 2020, was a video. I completely forgot who it was, but if I figure out, I'll link it in the description. But essentially they were saying if you handed somebody who's never made a beat before at all, no musical background, and you handed them a loop and then you put it in the DAW and you said make a beat right now, that shit will sound like ass. They might have like the hi-hats sounding like that LeBron James meme where it's like the shit beat and they all get turned to it, you know, it'll sound like that and stuff like that, man. Like, that's just probably the best example. Like, you have to have some kind of musical knowledge to even be able to use a loop in the first place. And to be completely fair, at least when I started and, you know, when I've seen other people start or whatever, and no matter what, there's never going to be two beats that are exactly the same. You cannot make the exact same beat twice. You can make replicas and stuff like that, but you're never going to make, if you and I both made the same beat with the same sample and we all had the exact same drum setup, neither of us would make the same beat or even similar. Like, it wouldn't sound close to it with the sounds being the same, but the patterns and everything that go into it are all going to be different and they're all going to have their own kind of style. And I do see what people are getting at when it says it's lazy, whatever. And, you know, when I started coming up, when I was making my beats, I made my beats for 2 years before I started making my own melodies. Probably 6 months of those 2 years, the first 6 months I was making my own. I had a very legal version of Nexus 1 or Nexus 2, and that was the only way that I made beats. That was like the only way that I knew how to make some kind of melody, or how I called it back then, like a background noise, you know what I mean? Even though the whole beat is the background noise, you know what I mean? That's what I did, and for a year and a half, I used nothing but loops from Splice. Like, I did not collab with people. I barely collab with people at all. I probably collab with maybe like 3 people in 2 years, and that's just lame. Like, if you want to use loops, go out and just talk to people. Sign up for people's weekly loop sins or kits or whatever, and just go out there and get that shit, dude. Like, stuff like Splice is more like, whenever I go down it now and I scroll down, I almost never use loops in the first place, but I've been collabing a little bit, so I use them sometimes. But if I just feel uninspired, I'll go through Splice and I'll just start clicking the down scroll and just go through there, man. And literally just, like, if I'm feeling like a Gunna type beat, like I want to make a guitar beat, but I don't know where to start or like what sound I'm kind of going for, then I'll just go to Splice, search up guitar, click on a loop, and just start scrolling down until I find something that sounds good, and then try to just find like a sound on Omnisphere, something that sounds similar, you know, create something on my own. That's my take on that side. Now, advocating for people being able to use loops, I think that everybody should use them at some point, especially starting out. You can have a weak melody but not trash drums, in my opinion. Like, if it had to be one or the other, trash melody, good drums, or bad drums with good melody, I think it's bad melody plus good drums. I think that's the one that'll get you further. Obviously, if you take this shit serious and you do this shit for years and years and you keep try everything that you possibly can, eventually you're gonna get both. You're gonna get good drums and good melodies, and just be able to combo both of them to make actual beats that are 100% original and only yours. Like, you're the only one who touched them. But like I said, personal experience, I used loops for the better half of 2 years. I did nothing but Splice, like I said. And I think that everybody, when they're starting out, as soon as you start making beats, you've made less than, you know, 50 beats so far, and you're still just getting started, finding your sound, whatever. Even finding out certain things in your DAW that you didn't know how to do, hi-hat rolls, any of that shit. Whenever you're doing something like that, I feel like when you're first starting to make beats, try to make your own melodies, and just kind of like learn what it's all about to like make something original. And then honestly just do what I did and just sign up for Splice or use Looperman or use sounds.org or collab with people on Twitter or Instagram and just use the sounds on there, man. And honestly do that for like 6 months to a year and just work on your drums. And then once you get that down and you feel like you graduated from doing your drums and you feel like you tripled your experience on drums and they sound 6 times better than they did 3 months ago, 6 months ago, then start making your own melodies. Maybe invest in Omnisphere. Omnisphere is my favorite plugin personally, but you know, everybody's got their own thing. There's Nexus, Analog Lab, Purity. And then once you graduate to being able to make both good melodies and good drums, start creating your own sounds. Like use Sublab or use any kind of plugin or VST that lets you create your own sound and start making drum kits for yourself. And once you start making sounds that you like specifically for the beats that you want to make, that's when you truly graduate to like 100% producer, man. That's when you graduate from beat maker to producer, in my opinion. I mean, there's a lot of ways to, you know, graduate in that sense, you know, beat maker to producer, you know, adding kind of variations in the beats, etc., etc. But there's hundreds of ways to do it, but I feel like that's probably one of the biggest ones. But yeah, man, that's my opinion. I want to hear all y'all's opinions in the comments. Go ahead and leave a comment if you're pro loop or anti loop, and just give like maybe a sentence or two why, because I genuinely just want to know like what everybody's take is on it. I know that the community, I feel like the majority of people, probably 90 to 85% of people are pro loop, pro melody, you know, just use it, you know, add some variation to it, you know what I mean, chop it up a little bit, add some gross beat, halftime, whatever you got to do just to add like your spin on it, with the addition of, you know, throwing your drums on there. But to the other 15 to 10% or maybe even less that say like, you know, it's uncreative, it's lazy, oh, you're not a producer, you're fake, you know, you're washed up, whatever. Dude, people are learning every day, man. Let these people learn the way that they have to learn, because not everybody learns the same. If you picked up a laptop for the first time and downloaded Ableton and you made your first beat and sent it to Travis and that shit popped off, congrats. But 1000% of the time, that's not gonna happen. So that's just my take on it, man. Like I said, leave in the comments of what y'all think, what y'all's opinion is. And if y'all got a topic that y'all want me to go over on the next Let's Talk, go ahead and drop that shit in the comments, man. I'm open to all ideas. But I hope y'all liked the video, man. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch y'all on the next one, bro. Peace out.